Every decade after the age of 30, your body begins to lose 3 to 8% of its muscle mass. Most people accept this as a natural part of aging, an unfortunate consequence of time. But what if I told you that muscle decline, what science calls sarcopenia, isn't just a passive process of getting older? It's an active neurological and biochemical shift, one that we now know can be prevented, slowed, and in some cases even reversed. At the heart of this lies a critical truth. Muscle is not simply tissue. It is a metabolic command center. It's a reservoir of glucose regulation, hormone communication, mitochondrial energy, and even cognitive preservation. And central to preserving that muscle is a molecule you're already familiar with, protein. But here's the twist. While many look to eggs, chicken, or whey as their primary source, there's a less obvious, far more potent option. One that nature has engineered with a higher protein density than eggs and a broader spectrum of amino acids. This food, spirulina. Gram for gram, spirulina contains more protein than eggs, over 57 grams of protein per 100 grams, compared to just 13 grams in eggs. But it's not just about quantity. Spirulina contains all 9 essential amino acids in a highly bioavailable form, meaning your body doesn't struggle to absorb it, convert it, and put it to work where it matters most, inside your muscle fibers. When we consume high-quality protein like this, we're not just feeding our muscles. We're turning on a genetic and biochemical switch. That switch is known as mTOR, the mammalian target of rapamycin. This molecular pathway is responsible for regulating muscle protein synthesis. It's the bridge between food and physical strength. When activated through resistance training and complete protein intake, mTOR tells your body, preserve this tissue, build it, don't let it waste away. Sarcopenia is not just about weakness or fatigue, it's a cascade of risks. Reduced muscle mass leads to slower metabolism, impaired glucose control, increased risk of falls, lower immune response, and even cognitive decline. That's because muscle talks to the brain through molecules called myokines. When muscle contracts, these myokines travel through the bloodstream and signal anti-stimulant neuroprotective responses in the brain. In other words, maintaining your muscle helps protect your memory, mood, and decision-making abilities. And to do that, you need more than just exercise. You need smart nutrition. That's where spirulina earns its place, not as a supplement, but as a cornerstone food. This isn't about going vegetarian or abandoning animal protein. It's about adding an elite performer to your nutritional arsenal. Spirulina doesn't just help you meet your protein needs, it helps you do it cleanly, efficiently, and with additional benefits like antioxidant protection, blood sugar modulation, and even cardiovascular support. The chlorophyll content aids in oxygenating your cells, improving endurance and recovering faster. The B vitamins and iron content support red blood cell production, which is crucial as we age. And for those battling chronic fatigue or inflammation, this blue-green algae can help rebalance your internal chemistry. But here's the catch. It only works if you build the habit. Science has shown that spreading your protein intake across the day, especially in the first 30 minutes after waking and within 2 hours post-training, produces a superior muscle-preserving effect. A small but consistent morning dose of spirulina, taken with water and a splash of citrus for enhanced absorption, may be one of the most effective ways to fight sarcopenia from the inside out. So yes, this food has more protein than eggs, but more importantly, it supports the full neurological, metabolic, and muscular system that keeps you strong, not just physically, but cognitively and emotionally. You are not at the mercy of aging. You are in conversation with it. And every time you nourish your muscle, you're telling your body, we're not done growing yet. Most people think of aging as a slow and inevitable decline, a gradual fading of strength, energy, and mobility. But what we've come to understand through neuroscience and physiology is that this process isn't as passive as it seems. One of the key culprits behind this decline is sarcopenia, a condition defined by progressive muscle loss and functional deterioration. But sarcopenia doesn't just appear out of nowhere. It is driven by shifts in the way your nervous system communicates with muscle tissue, how your mitochondria produce energy, and how your cells respond to signals of stress and recovery. This means sarcopenia is something you can intervene in. It's not just about lifting weights or walking more. At the biological level, it's about preserving the communication between your motor neurons and the muscle fibers they activate. Without this communication, muscle atrophy accelerates. With it, the muscle remains stimulated, functional, and adaptive. Here's where protein comes in, but not just any protein. The quality, timing, and bioavailability of your protein intake are all essential. One of the most overlooked yet profoundly effective sources of protein is spirulina, a blue-green algae that boasts over 57 grams of protein per 100 grams, far surpassing the protein density of eggs which average around 13 grams per 100 grams. Spirulina is a complete protein, meaning it delivers all 9 essential amino acids that your body cannot synthesize on its own. That makes it uniquely powerful when it comes to muscle preservation. It's not just that spirulina contains protein, it's how quickly your body can absorb it and direct it to muscle tissue, especially after resistance exercise or during periods of recovery. These amino acids go to work by activating molecular pathways like mTOR, which triggers muscle protein synthesis. mTOR, or the mammalian target of rapamycin, is essentially your body's way of saying, let's build, let's preserve, let's grow. The frequency with which you activate this pathway plays a critical role in whether you lose muscle as you age or keep it. But spirulina's effects don't stop at protein synthesis. It's a nutrient powerhouse rich in phycocyanin, chlorophyll, B vitamins, magnesium, and iron. These compounds support oxygen delivery, reduce oxidative stress, and enhance mitochondrial function. Why does that matter? Because your mitochondria, those tiny organelles in your cells, are the engines of energy production. As they decline with age, so does your strength, endurance, and even your mental sharpness. Spirulina helps reinvigorate these engines. That means more output with less fatigue. Better recovery, sharper cognition, less inflammation. The iron and B12 content in spirulina further supports red blood cell production and oxygen transport, critical for older adults at risk of anemia or fatigue, weakness. All of this points to one thing: the battle against sarcopenia isn't won in the gym alone. It's won in the kitchen. It's won in the decisions you make each morning, whether you'll nourish your body with what it truly needs or simply fill it with empty calories. Incorporating 5 to 10 grams of spirulina daily may seem small, but it builds into a compounding effect over time. Taken consistently, it supports lean muscle mass, stabilizes blood sugar, and sharpens mental clarity. Combine that with intelligent resistance training, using compound movements, maintaining form, and following a plan based on progression, and you create a synergy. You're not just fighting off aging, you're reprogramming it. You're telling your biology to keep adapting, to stay engaged, to keep growing. You no longer passively accept the limitations of age, you challenge them. Because the truth is, sarcopenia is not just a muscle issue, it's a message. And when you fuel your body with high-impact nutrition like spirulina, you're sending a clear reply. You're choosing strength, you're choosing vitality, you're choosing to keep going. We often mistake the loss of muscle with age as a natural part of getting older, but what we're really seeing is a shift in biological signaling. Sarcopenia is not simply about growing weaker, it's about a breakdown in the dialogue between your nervous system and your muscular system. As early as your 30s, the body begins a slow withdrawal from its own strength blueprint. If that communication isn't reinforced through movement and nutrition, your muscles begin to atrophy, not because you're aging, but because your system believes you no longer need strength. This is a critically important distinction. Your body is always listening to what you do. When you challenge your muscles, you're telling them to remain active. But when you feed them the right signal, specifically high-quality protein, you're giving them the biochemical instruction to maintain and grow. That's where spirulina becomes so important. Most people are familiar with eggs, chicken, and dairy as protein sources. They've been praised for their amino acid profiles and digestibility, but very few realize that spirulina, a microscopic algae, contains more protein per gram than any of these. In fact, it delivers over 4 times more protein than eggs on a gram-for-gram basis. And it's not just any protein, it's complete, meaning it contains all essential amino acids. This is critical because your muscles depend on essential amino acids, particularly leucine, to initiate muscle protein synthesis. Leucine is the amino acid that tells your muscles, now is the time to rebuild. Spirulina delivers leucine, isoleucine, and valine in an ideal ratio for post-workout recovery and for preserving muscle in those who are aging or experiencing inactivity due to illness or injury. But spirulina does more than just maintain muscle. It helps restore the body's internal resilience. As we age, oxidative stress increases, inflammation becomes more systemic, and our recovery slows. Spirulina helps counter these problems in 3 specific ways. First, it's rich in phycocyanin, a powerful antioxidant that reduces inflammatory markers and protects the liver and kidneys, 2 organs critical in nutrient processing and recovery. Second, its high chlorophyll content enhances oxygen transport and detoxification, which is key for muscle repair and cellular energy production. Third, spirulina's iron and B vitamin content supports red blood cell formation, improving endurance and vitality. These aren't fringe benefits, they're central to healthy aging and fighting fatigue, both physical and mental. Think of your muscles as a high-performance machine. They need high-quality fuel, precise timing, and consistent activation. When you consume spirulina daily, even just a small amount, You're delivering that fuel directly into your cells. You're not just feeding muscle. You're enhancing mitochondrial performance, optimizing protein turnover, and reducing the buildup of inflammation that accelerates aging. Combine that with regular strength training, focusing on progressive overload and compound movements like squats, push-ups, and rows, and you create an environment in the body that doesn't just resist aging, but actively repairs and strengthens what time tries to break down. This is how you fight sarcopenia, not by reacting to symptoms, but by proactively signaling to your biology that you're still in the game. What's more, spirulina's versatility makes it easy to integrate into your daily life. Whether in smoothies, water, or capsules, its potency doesn't diminish. You don't need large doses to see benefits. The key is consistency. Even 5-10 grams per day, combined with quality sleep, stress management, and proper hydration, can shift your physiology in a direction that favors strength over decline. The narrative around aging needs to change. Strength is not reserved for the young. It belongs to those who continue to signal for it, to train for it, and to feed their bodies with the nutrients that make it possible. Spirulina isn't just a food, it's a message that says, I still have more to build. The conversation around aging often centers on what we lose, mobility, strength, energy, but what's rarely discussed is what remains under our control. Sarcopenia, the age loss of muscle mass and function, is not simply a passive deterioration. It's a reflection of how our cells respond or fail to respond to stimuli. Neurologically, your brain is still sending messages to your muscles, but as we age, the efficiency of this signal weakens. The motor units, connections between neurons and muscle fibers, begin to disengage unless they're consistently stimulated and supported. This decline doesn't just limit your physical capabilities, it affects posture, stability, metabolism, even your mood. But the body's resilience is remarkable when given the right inputs. Specific movement patterns, rest, and optimal nutrition, it knows how to respond, but it knows how to rebuild. Protein intake is one of those non-negotiables, but not all protein is created equal. For muscle maintenance and restoration, it's about delivering complete amino acid profiles, high digestibility, and nutrient synergy. That's what makes spirulina exceptional. While most people are reaching for eggs or whey protein to support their muscle health, spirulina offers a concentrated, efficient alternative. This algae is over 60% protein by weight, and it contains all 9 essential amino acids, including leucine, which is crucial for turning on the muscle building switch inside your cells. But the story goes deeper. Spirulina also includes trace minerals and cofactors like magnesium, potassium, and B vitamins that are needed for muscle contraction, nerve signaling, and enzymatic repair. In terms of biochemistry, what spirulina offers is more than just raw material, it offers activation. Inside your cells is a critical protein complex called mTOR, which regulates growth and cellular repair. When you eat foods high in leucine, you activate this mTOR pathway. It's like pressing a button inside your muscle fiber that tells it, now is the time to grow. But for mTOR to work optimally, it needs to be paired with movement, especially resistance-based training, and it requires nutrient-dense fuel. Spirulina answers both of these needs. It not only stimulates the right anabolic pathways, but does so while reducing oxidative stress, thanks to compounds like phycocyanin and beta-carotene, which neutralize free radicals that accumulate with aging and intense exercise. Beyond the cellular mechanics, spirulina also plays a crucial role in recovery. One of the overlooked factors in muscle preservation is how well we bounce back from physical strain. As we age, inflammation tends to linger longer. Micro tears in muscle from exercise heal more slowly, and soreness can turn into fatigue. Spirulina helps here too. It reduces the expression of inflammatory cytokines, chemical messengers that can delay healing and contribute to muscle breakdown. It also supports liver detoxification and immune function, both of which are essential in recovery and long-term muscle maintenance. With daily use, the cumulative effects become evident: less fatigue after workouts, improved endurance, and better sleep quality, which further reinforces repair cycles. So much of what we call aging is really a story of unused capacity. Muscles that aren't challenged, neurons that go unstimulated, foods that provide calories but not information. Spirulina is different. It's a food that communicates directly with your biology. It says, wake up, adapt, grow. The mistake many people make is waiting until they feel weak or tired to start investing in their strength. But the real power lies in prevention, starting now. Even a daily routine that includes a small spirulina dose and 15 minutes of resistance movement can tilt your entire aging trajectory. Your muscle doesn't ask for perfection, it asks for consistency, challenge, and nourishment. Spirulina delivers that in one of the most efficient packages nature has ever created. When you make it a part of your life, you're not just fighting sarcopenia, you're reclaiming the right to stay strong. The aging process has long been misunderstood as an unavoidable slide into weakness, fragility, and decline. But modern biology tells a very different story. The real issue is not just age, it's signaling. Every day, your body listens to cues from your environment, your habits, and especially your nutrition. If your muscles are underused and undernourished, they begin to degrade. This is sarcopenia, the slow, often silent loss of muscle mass and strength. But here's the truth, sarcopenia isn't inevitable. It's a biological response to the absence of stimulus and nutrients. In other words, muscle doesn't disappear because of age, it disappears because it's not being asked to stay. And when you provide your body with the right combination of mechanical tension and complete bioavailable protein, the system responds. Even after 60, 70, or 80, the body still adapts. To drive that adaptation, protein quality is everything. While many turn to traditional sources like eggs, chicken, or dairy, there's another source that's far more potent, gram for gram, spirulina. Often dismissed as a green powder used by athletes or health enthusiasts, spirulina is actually one of the most complete and concentrated protein sources found in nature. With over 57 grams of protein per 100 grams, it significantly surpasses the density found in eggs. And crucially, spirulina is a complete protein. It contains all 9 essential amino acids your body cannot produce on its own. But what sets it apart isn't just quantity, it's the quality of absorption. Spirulina's cellular structure allows for rapid digestion and integration into muscle repair pathways, making it a uniquely powerful tool for fighting sarcopenia. Deeper. And spirulina's benefits extend beyond its protein profile. It contains phycocyanin, a compound that not only gives spirulina its distinct blue-green color, but also acts as a potent antioxidant. This matters because oxidative stress increases with age, contributing to inflammation, tissue damage, and slower recovery. When muscles are inflamed, the repair process is delayed, which is exactly what we don't want when fighting muscle loss. Spirulina works to suppress pro-inflammatory cytokines while boosting natural killer cell activity, enhancing your immune function, and helping the body heal efficiently after training. It also supports liver detoxification, mitochondrial energy production, and red blood cell formation thanks to its iron and B vitamin content. That means better endurance, better recovery, and better strength over time. Muscle is not just for lifting weights. It's the foundation of your metabolic health. It regulates blood sugar, supports balance, fuels movement, and even influences mood and cognitive function. Sarcopenia puts all of that at risk. The less muscle you have, the more prone you are to falls, insulin resistance, fatigue, and mental fog. This is why spirulina's ability to preserve and rebuild lean mass is about more than aesthetics or gym performance. It's about protecting your independence, your resilience, and your capacity to live actively. Combined with resistance training, even simple bodyweight movements or light dumbbell routines, spirulina amplifies results. It creates the internal conditions for muscle synthesis, while exercise delivers the stimulus. Together, they form a potent defense against the muscle-draining effects of time. The most powerful results come not from occasional use, but from ritual. Just like your muscles respond to consistent training, your cellular machinery responds to consistent nourishment. Integrating spirulina into your daily routine, whether through smoothies, capsules, or water, can shift your physiology. Even 5 to 10 grams per day, taken in the morning or post-exercise, is enough to maintain an anabolic environment in the body. Over weeks and months, this builds into greater strength, improved endurance, sharper focus, and a renewed sense of energy. This is how we outsmart sarcopenia, not by fearing it, but by fueling the body with the right signals at the right time. Because aging doesn't take your muscle, you give it away. One unintentional choice at a time. But now you know better. Now you can choose to keep it.